Hello, it's Bibiana. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Today I will be like a tree. Just me. I saw that today. I doom scrolled on Instagram. I was on there for way too long. And I saw a post about how trees live. And I guess I'm a little obsessed with trees. I don't know. They're just so majestic. Anyways, so this post was just kind of saying, you walk into a forest, you're going to see various trees, like oaks, firs, what have you, right? You're not going to look at them and be like, tree, you're not standing straight. Tree, you have one too many branches. No, you let the tree be and you appreciate its beauty for what it is, rather than for what you perceive it should have or should be. And I think that's something that we have forgotten to allow ourselves to feel as well. That freedom of just being ourselves. So, and not only just being ourselves, but finding absolute beauty and like amazement with it as well. You know what I mean? So there's so many societal standards. And I talked about it in the last video I did, about the 4 agreements. Oh man, I never got into it, I think. But dreams are essentially that. Constructs that society has put in place. And a lot of reasons, there are conspiracy theories for that. I won't get into that because I haven't researched enough to give y'all reliable information. So when I talk about things, think about it like it's a meta report, you know what I mean? A wink, a wink. Sorry. So anyways, so a lot of these things are conspiracy theories, but basically it's kind of just to keep you grounded, but not in the sense of good grounding, more in the sense of become a worker, don't live out your aspirations, comply to like society, right? And that's not very good because that's not how humans were meant to live. We were meant to live our own individual lives and have our own individual experiences, which we still do, but they are so tainted and influenced by like society that it's a little harder to get our full authentic experiences. And I think that is a shame because what that does is it robs the universe of an experience. So sometimes people including me, right, I've gone through this as well, people can have jealousy and such. And when I experience little bouts of jealousy, it could be like why does someone get to do this whereas I cannot, right? I like to just kind of look at the grand scheme, look at the bigger, the oneness of us, right? You know, it's so crazy because the page that I left off on is oneness. So I was like, yeah, but I love oneness. So anyways, the oneness of us all. You like to think, okay, but if you had not been experiencing this, then you're robbing the universe of an experience. And what is the universe? The universe, in my beliefs, is just spirit trying to experience itself, right? So, and there are so many different ways of phrasing it and of believing this, but it essentially all goes the same way, that we are here to just be ourselves, right? We are here to learn as well. Like, life is about lessons. Even in the Christian Bible, I believe that's what it says. You know what I mean? Like, life is lessons. So, if you do not fully give yourself the freedom, capacity, and allowance to just be in that moment of learning a lesson, you are robbing yourself and the universe of that experience, which I think is kind of how karma comes into play. Because I believe if you do not follow the lesson to your full authenticity, like it's not the most authentic version of yourself, right? Like you do not, sorry guys, anyways, like if you do not give the lesson your full authentic experience, you withhold yourself, you try to do it a way you've seen someone else do it, I think that builds up karma. And karma we all kind of use the word wrong. Karma actually means action, but I think it's as in when you do not allow your most authentic self to live out lessons, you're building up action, as in you're building up karma, in the sense that you are creating a dam, a block, and that block needs to be released. So in the book, I read many books, but a book I'm currently reading as well is called It Didn't Begin With You. It's about inherited trauma. So some religions and other spiritual beliefs call these like family curses and such, but the book I'm reading is more of a scientific approach, and it talks about like gene expressions and such. But anyways, karma kind of plays into this because it says sometimes you will relive someone's unfinished business. So it gives many examples, but like I guess one that stuck with me was this this young adult who, after a short while after his 18th birthday, he suddenly had bouts of insomnia, and he'd wake up freezing from his sleep and like shivering, and just in his thoughts would repeat, I don't want to die alone, I don't want to die alone, right? And he had never had this before. So when he went to this therapist, which is the author of the book, they began exploring the young man's family history, and they discovered that one of his uncles, who was an electrical engineer who would work on the power lines, had fallen during a blizzard and had frozen to death. So they had hypothesized, and they came to the conclusion that he was reliving that inherited trauma from his uncle's death. So essentially you're gonna be like, okay, but that's his uncle, right? But energy, because this goes into energy, how I like to interpret it, it goes into so energy is not just something that is restricted to a singular individual. It's something that belongs to the whole entire consciousness, right? Our conscious, the like, what's it called, the collective. So, and I think the collective, we all feel the energy of one another on a grand scale, right? But then I think it compounds easier in like familial circles. And in some realms of spirituality, you'll hear this called what's it called? Oops, I'm blanking. It's called a soul, what is it? Soul family or soul community? But essentially a group of individuals who come onto this earth to experience it together, right? So that would be your family, your friends, and such. So I believe in those little collected, like those little communities, soul communities. I'm gonna call them that for today. Someone correct me if you can. So in those communities, I believe that the energy is compounded. You feel one another much more powerfully. You feel it just closer, and that's because it's closer to home. Yeah. I'm gonna restart this, I think. Nah. Who's watching this? Let's be real. Well, Ed is. Hi, Ed. So, anyways, oh yeah. So, anyways, this energy compounds much more easily within the family. So that's why this young adult had his uncle's, like, I guess, trauma, like, relived through him. And so once he came to realize that, the afflictions he was feeling were released. Because I believe you have to kind of just recognize and accept these energetic ties, and once you do, they're much more easier to dissolve. So I had another video I was doing, but I think I restarted it, so I don't think I mentioned in this one. But I came today. I didn't come anywhere. Anyways, so today I had actually wanted to make a video on energy, which I am, but I didn't elaborate from the start that I was. So I saw this Instagram reel. Sorry, y'all. I saw this Instagram reel about so I think it was like electromagnetic imaging or a type of energetic resonance imaging, something along those lines. Please, I'm no scientist, don't quote me. Anyways, so they had taken images of a leaf, a full leaf, right? And they had looked at the energetic imprint of the leaf, and then they had spliced the leaf. They took half of it, took the image, like made another imaging, right? And then they discovered that the energetic imprint was still left. So essentially what that means is that we hold on to our energy. We do not let it go unless it is recognized. I believe, honestly, don't quote me on that, but that's just my personal belief. I believe to let go of energy, you have to recognize it and see it. You know what I mean? So in that sense, if you think about, like, if you want some more proof on this, like a little something more to make it click, think of the phantom limb syndrome that happens in amputees. When someone gets, like, some cases, some people will get like limbs amputated. They'll have phantom pains. They'll still feel the sensations of their legs. They'll feel like pain from the absence of it. And essentially, if we think about it on an energetic level, it would be that the energy of their leg is still there, but they have not accepted the release of it. So I think that goes into like letting go. We have to let go of energy that is no longer with us. You know what I mean? So I think that includes traumas and memories and events that happen through life, which goes into the sense of you have to feel your emotions and let them go, because emotions are energy, literally energy. Because okay, so like in your head, what makes like dopamine, serotonin, those are chemical those are neurotransmitters. Those are chemicals that are converted into energy. You know what I mean? Everything is energy. On the tiniest scale, everything's energy. And I won't get into that because I am not the most educated on that. I just know basic understandings and I run with it, right? So anyways. Oh, damn it. Oh yeah, so, why lie? I didn't get an oh yeah. Oh, so that's why we have to fully experience our emotions and then let them go, you know, because things will stick if you don't look them in the eye, like acknowledge them and release them. You know what I mean? So I think the lesson of today is let it go, guys. Like, just feel and release. I think life is much better that way and it allows you to be more authentic, you know? I think that's another way to be your most authentic self. So yeah, I thought that was so interesting. That's something I thought of, well, not that I thought of today, but something I was thinking of today because of that video. So let me pull it up. Like, I don't know if this is like violating like YouTube stuff. What? Let me see. So I saved it because I was like, you know, gotta research this. Right now, I've been loving the band Grizzly Bear. So this is by Elizabeth, Miss Elizabeth. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. So it says the energy doesn't disappear. Look at that, guys. Y'all want to read through the comments with me? Let's do it. So it's actually just a lot of amputees or people with like experience in that kind of realm. Oh, someone said something so interesting. Guys, I look like such a big tree hugger. I'm not gonna say it anymore. So yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the comments. But anyways, I think we need to acknowledge things more. Also, don't have any negative thoughts when you acknowledge things, because there's not really a negative or positive. Like, yes, there are negatives and positives, but that does not necessarily always equate to wrong and good. So what I mean by that is that any thought you have that you might say, oh God, that's so bad, why did I think that? You shouldn't pass judgment onto it. And this is something Carl Jung talks about a lot. He talks about like his dreams when he was I think he would transcribe his dreams. He would never look on anything with a negative, like a negative type of cast. He would just be curious of it. So he had curiosity. So any bad thought or negative thought, he wouldn't be like, well, how could I think that? I'm such a bad person. He would look at it and be curious as to where it was coming from, why it was coming, you know what I mean? And that's something that we need to do a lot. So don't be scared of experiencing, guys. Fully live. So yeah, that's my video for today. It's a little long and I stuttered a lot, but it was fun. Thank you.